You've been studying up on narcissism for months, even years, because you've been living with one. And the whole time that you've been turning to that one friend about what's going on in your experience, you discover that your friend who you've been talking to is a narcissist also. Well, that blows. So hi everyone, Deanna King here for those who don't know me, and on this channel we discuss all things narcissism and codependency. And I am counting on subscribers and bell ringers to keep my channel going. So if you do like this content, don't be shy. Now, today's topic is about how we can figure out whether our friends are narcissists or is it all in our heads because we've become so hypervigilant in our quests for the signs of narcissists. We kind of see them everywhere. We definitely have become hypervigilant. That's a given, but you're also not crazy either. I mean, think about it. How many narcissists have you had in your life as partners? Or how many have you attracted selfish people? Or even if it's just one, but you've been with them for a long time, how did you attract them? The attraction comes, as you all know, from unresolved childhood traumas most of the time, which means that you are vibrating the frequency of fear, of abandonment, of shame, of guilt, so on and so forth. And so it stands to reason that you would also attract the same thing, not only in your intimate relationships, but your friendships also. Addendum here, though, still doesn't mean that because you've attracted a narcissist in your life as a partner that your friend is definitely a narcissist, nor does it mean that all of your friends are. But there are some good chances that there's going to be one in the group. So let's take a look at what you can watch out for. But before we go through these signs, do know that there are narcissists, as in narcissistic personality disorder, and then there are those who don't have the disorder, but they do have very high narcissistic traits. To that, I would say, does it really make a difference? Because the bottom line is, if these people are hurting you in one way or another due to their selfishness, it may be time to walk. Now, that being said, there's also the different types of narcissists to look for. Same as the intimate partner. You're going to have the grandiose, the covert, the malignant, the antagonistic, and the communal. And then in this, you're going to have mixtures of a little of some and a little of other traits. Identifying narcissists is like identifying a snowflake or fingerprints. Each has their own uniqueness to the characters, but they do have certain things in common, such as low compassion and self-absorption. So pay attention to those traits first and foremost. Low compassion, self-absorption, and admiration seeking. Narcissists are not there for you. They are there for themselves. It's always about what's in it for them. And it can be really hard to detect because just like the narcissistic partner, they too will love bomb you by telling you things like, what would I have done without you? Or what would I do without you? They might say things like, I so cherish our friendship, or you're the only person that gets me, or they might even lavish you with gifts. And then they'll tell you things like, you're just the best friend I've ever had. And for a codependent, those words are music to their ears because as codependents, we want to be needed. We want acknowledgement. Growing up, no one ever made us feel that we were enough, let alone told that we were special in any way. So, okay, let's start with the antagonistic narcissist. So like all other narcissists, they are self-absorbed and they want to be front and center. But these types, they are extremely argumentative and judgmental. They're very judgmental. But no matter what you say on whatever subject, they always seek to one-up you with their knowledge. And you know, I'm saying this as a trait, but an antagonistic can also not be argumentative, but be very judgmental and harsh. So just because they don't have that one specific trait doesn't mean that they're not antagonistic, for example. It's complicated. But for the ones that are always constantly talking, you know, one-upping you on the things that they know, their knowledge is always more, it can leave you feeling drained where you don't want to talk about anything with them because you know that somehow they're going to find a way to be a know-it-all. You never feel that you can ever bring anything to the table. And a lot of times they just act uninterested and you see it. You're not stupid. codependent, but not stupid. The antagonistic narcissist is quick to anger and they cannot deal with being wrong. And don't try to correct them or prove them wrong because they don't care what comes out of their mouths. Like the overt, they are grandiose. But the thing is, when it comes to a friend, it's already really, really hard to detect the partner as a narcissist and you live with them. But when it comes to friendships, you don't see them as often and they wear the mask when they're around you. So they might not act aggressive. So you have to watch the little things. But when it comes to being argumentative, they're going to go out of their way to prove you wrong long after the conversation has ended. Because it bugs them. They don't want to be wrong. They become obsessed with proving others wrong. They thrive on competitiveness. They are extremely critical of everyone else and feel that they're just above everyone. So you might just be receiving extra emails that they send you with information, like, again, to prove, see what I found here? It's that sense of self-importance. They are fault finders with everyone else except themselves because they can do no wrong. And they feel good about themselves when they can manage to make you feel less than. Then we have the communal. The communal isn't really trying to bring you down as much as trying to make themselves look so angelic that it's all you can do but to look up, way up. These are the friends that are going to be involved in helping the world. They'll be in soup kitchens or animal rescue places, or they could be involved in rare diseases awareness, such as Lyme disease. When you have a communal narcissist as a friend, you become void of energy because the only subject on the table is theirs. If you talk about anything outside of what they want to talk about, which is always the subject, they're just going to sit there with a blank stare. Watch them, pay attention. They need constant validation. They're going to go from grandiosity to poor me's in an instant if they don't feel validated. When they're in their grandiose stage, for example, they're going to be in the soup kitchen with lots of other workers, and those people are going to take over, believing that they're better than everyone else, and they're going to make decisions without taking into consideration the opinions of others, because they always know better. They know what to do. They're going to handle it. Next, we have the covert narcissist, and these friends can be extremely exhausting also. They're going to drain you of all of your energy. These are the ones that need attention on them for their woe is me stories. That's how they get their supply. That's how they get their validation. These narcissists always have a problem for every solution. They use guilt to manipulate. So if you feel bad for their lack of whatever, not only do you feel guilty, but somehow you feel responsible for them. However, even though you try to come up with solutions for them or supply them with, I don't know, more money or something, somehow it's never enough. A solution doesn't work for them because the solution that they want in that moment is sympathy. They are passive aggressive. So if for some reason you didn't say the right thing, the behavior is going to turn a little bit cold. Or they might do things like cancel last minute plans. So you know something's wrong, but you have no idea what. And if you try to address anything with them, they're going to deny being upset. The covert narcissist will never try anything that you suggest as per solution because deep down they believe that they're above you as low as they may present. Everything that ever happens to them is the fault of the world. So when you have a friend that's a covert, there's never any room for you to have any of your needs met. If something tragic happens to you and you want to talk about it, the tables are turned and you're back to listening to how much more tragic their story is. They are also easily triggered. Coverts cannot take criticism of any kind. The covert narcissist will not pay you any compliments on any of your achievements, but they expect praise from you. They expect praise without having earned it. Then you have the overt. The overt is hard to have as a friend also. Anytime that you try to express how you feel to them, it goes unheard. It goes right over their heads. They want constant support, but when it comes to you needing support, they're just not around. These narcissists, they have no patience when it comes to problems that others have or any needs that the person might have, because to them, your needs and your problems are a bother to them, especially if it's an emotional problem. If you try to talk to them about something that you feel hurt by, be it something from them or from someone else, they'll just tell you to get over it, leaving you feeling unacknowledged. And sometimes all we need is to be able to just vent for 5 minutes, have a good cry with our friend, then move on to laughter. But the overt is not going to leave that space for you. They're not going to give you 5 minutes of their time. And then the overt narcissists are really good at the discard. If they find somebody that they really want to hang out with, they're going to drop you just like that. And then they'll come back into your life as though nothing ever happened when that new relationship expires. Or they'll discard you if there's something that they just didn't like about you, about something you said or didn't work for them. They vanish. They'll just cut it out like a sword. They are extremely grandiose, and they want to talk and talk and talk about all the exciting things that are happening in their lives. They want to gloat. They want and they insist on being front and center. They love big crowds when they can be head of everything. But if it's a group setting where everyone gets to have a say, they'll often prefer a one-on-one because now they're getting all the attention, right? They are self-absorbed, and like the communal, they want to talk about their topics and theirs only. It's a one-sided relationship, and these ones are going to keep the friendship going with you by telling you how they just love the friendship. So it makes it hard for you to see that they're narcissists. But these acknowledgments, they're manipulations. However, they are grateful to have you as a friend, for sure. You're furnishing all the supply, and they can be extremely hurtful. They are so blunt and hurtful with their words, and they won't apologize either. And if they do, it's just a hypocritical tactic to get you in their good graces again. They expect the world to do whatever they say, and then they don't take no very well for an answer. It's their way or the highway, yet they'll do nothing for others. They are extremely, extremely self-absorbed, and then they expect you to be counted on. But when something is important to you, they just don't care. No compassion. And like all other types, they're going to gather friends of the group and talk badly about you right before the discard stage, or if they feel that you're about to discard them. And that's to save face. So all in all, once that you've figured out that your friend is a narcissist or has high narcissistic traits, either way, it's all about them. And that's where you're going to need to decide on what you want to do about it. And perhaps the best option is to walk away completely if they end up doing you more harm than good. But if you've enjoyed the relationship regardless, if somehow you still get lots out of the relationship, perhaps your friend is fun to be around, then perhaps what you can do is just readjust your expectations of them and use radical acceptance, because they're not going to change. So don't count on them for anything, since they tend to break promises. And if you're going through things, find someone else to talk to. And then lastly, give less. If they aren't willing to listen, then you don't have to listen to their issues either, or open your door every time they call because they want to talk. I mean, perhaps they don't respect you, but you can respect you. So I hope that has helped a little bit. Remember, you are an equal in all relationships, even though they try to make you feel otherwise. So on that note, I say my goodbyes, and we shall see you in the next video. Bye for now.